Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Yo, we talk about lightsabers, stunning your TV screens, what you want to stream, everything beyond your dreams. Want to talk about movies, sports, or even politics? Go ahead and tune into us, we'll give you all of it. Whatever you're debating, Xbox or PlayStation, Marvel or DC, Mac or PC. Teraflops when the movie drops, gigabytes, chips, RAM, no matter what it is, we got all of it. Welcome to the show.
Nerds Talking, the podcast. Welcome to Nerds Talking, the podcast. I'm here with Carlos, Johnny, and I'm Lafayette. Remember to rate, subscribe, review, download, turn on notifications, tell your friends. Nerd Talking, the podcast, every Friday where your podcasts are found. Johnny, do you like historical movies?
Why, yes, I do.
That's fantastic. When a movie comes out that you're like, makes you proud, you rush out and see it, kind of like me in Top Gun.
Why you in Top Gun?
Because I like planes a lot.
All right.
Makes no sense. That's cool though.
All right.
What year did that movie come out though? Like 87?
Yeah,
Maybe
86, 87.
Yeah, I was 8 years old running to the theater. This is because I love movies so much. I usually go based on the theme or the cultural aspect. I only ask this because Shang-Chi is out in theaters. And Johnny, I know you've seen Shang-Chi, right?
I have.
Yeah, and then when you come out that son of a bitch like doing kung fu and shit, and you're like, my people rock.
It was. I mean, when I came out, it wasn't like some of the other films that I've seen that are.
Black Panther just said it. Because when I came out of Black Panther, people were dancing and singing, and I tried to jump in, and they were like, "Don't appropriate my culture," and I was like, "Damn it, man! I really like the movie," and they were not cool with that. And then I started rapping, and they were really mad. So not cool, but Shang-Chi, I didn't have the same effect. I came out and parents and kids were like, I know geometry, daddy. And I was like, son of a bitch, didn't work for me. So
should have kicked the shit out of them. Like, there's a right angle for you.
Oh, you
oh, there you go. Pow! In your face. Shang-Chi.
So what were you expecting, Johnny, to come out of the theater looking for a kung fu fight?
That or just in like two fans in his hand and a really nice like emerald outfit, ding, bang, bang, and doing like dancing around.
Whether I'm a villain or a hero in an Asian movie, I'm not going to be the fan guy. I'm not going to fucking slice somebody and then fan the shit out of myself.
Or you get out 10 minutes early and somehow you set up a booth and you're selling donuts. You know. So there you go. So, but we also
give money
Shang-Chi.
to Uncle Ted for that shit.
Dim sum. He's coming out selling dim sum.
Yeah. We all saw Shang-Chi, the latest from Marvel Studios. And I guess first question was, what were your expectations of the movie since it is labeled, a Marvel movie? And did you know who Shang-Chi was prior to even going into the theater?
No and no. But before we start on the movie, let me ask you guys a question. Before I went to the theater, I went to a new place, a restaurant by my house. It was a Mongolian restaurant, but now it was closed down and picked up again. Now like some non-Asians are running it, right? So on the wall they have like a bunch of Asian decorations, and then like, oh, there's a sign that says Beijing. There's a sign that says I can't think of any other China countries, but then there's a sign that says Wuhan. I'm like, huh. I'm like, this is bad timing, guys. I mean, the restaurant just opened up like 2 weeks ago, and there was a big old Wuhan sign, and I was like, well, all right,
Can I get some bat?
Yeah, but that's not what I was curious about. There was writings on the wall that would take like Asian sayings and then like I'll give you an example. Like one of them was like miso hungry, but miso is miso. I'm like, huh. And like reading these, I think I was kind of offended. I wasn't sure because there was no Asians that were hungry. Confirm. Oh. Yeah, well, because I want to eat too. But yeah, I mean, like if you saw a sign there that says "Ooh, Kim Jong Yum," like is that kind of inappropriate? Like, I don't know.
Sounds a little
funny.
dirty.
And the fact
Sounds
that there was
like-
no Asian people in the restaurant.
I guess my question is, have you been to this restaurant before it changed hands? Was it always
No.
like that?
No,
Okay.
before it changed hands, there was a bunch of Asians. It was like a typical Mongolian restaurant. You go through the line, you put your shit in the bowl. And
no,
they
I
make it
know,
for
but
you.
did it have the sayings on the walls or anything like
No,
that?
no, no.
Oh,
It was
okay.
just
So that's all new then.
yeah. It was much like a Asian restaurant in South Sac, like shitty decorations and
Yeah. Like try to make it what you assume Asian restaurant would look like if you decorated it from the party store.
right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
With dust and all the decorations.
With like lanterns and shit, paper lanterns everywhere.
And
You walk in and some Mexican guy's like, "Oh, welcome to our store." Like it's not a store, it's a restaurant. Oh, it doesn't matter.
why do you
Wuhan?
have Wuhan?
Wuhan?
I don't know. Like I was hoping to stop by the restaurant today and like take a picture of the saying so I could more accurately give you guys, what they said. But
No, I mean I get it. It's like it's trying to
They were trying to be clever.
be clever with these sayings that are like
so,
this sounds stupid.
Are you
know?
feel more offended because it wasn't an Asian it wasn't Asian people running the restaurant?
well, the first thing that threw me off was the Wuhan. Like, I get that. I don't know. There's big celebrations in there every year and shit, but come on, it's too soon, right?
You
It's too
should've
soon
did they have,
to
did
throw
they
a
have
Wuhan
Hasn't even
Macau?
sign.
passed yet.
They have
Yeah.
Macau on the wall.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think they did. but,
I don't. And this Bangkok.
Thailand.
It's Thailand.
I know that's what I was about to ask you.
No,
where's
it
that
wasn't.
at?
It wasn't a different. It was Chinese cities,
Yeah,
Got it.
dummy.
Well, it's Mongolian. I don't know. Like,
right? And yeah, it's a
No,
Mongolian.
that's true. The Mongolians
restaurant.
try to take over China.
Oh
okay.
yeah.
Well,
That's why the wall went up.
for. Yeah. This is where you learn your
Mm.
history, kids, on this show right here. And I learned that from South Park. So
At the shitty walk.
Shitty walk.
Yeah.
Did you go to Shitty walk?
What was the worst word that Carmen could use? Like me crawl or something like that. It's like a Thai word for.
Oh, I'd have to watch it, but that shit is a funny episode. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
See,
Shitty
I'm more.
walk.
I was more offended in the restaurant than I was like watching a South Park because South Park is pretty funny when it comes to that stuff. This stuff was kind of. I don't know if you can do that.
Well, yeah, it was just trying to be. It's like if you went to a soul food restaurant owned by a white guy and he just had all these like crazy ass sayings on the wall, like you're like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Is the food any good?
Yeah, we have a special. Ask me about it. Like,
Oh,
whoa, like
oh,
you wouldn't.
Oh,
putting that shit on the
instead of
wall.
saying up front, like where it says line starts here, this is where you're finna order. You're like, what? What
You're
does that mean? Like
funna.
funna Finsta, my bad, bro. Oh, okay. Like that's how it would be at the like people that do that shit. They think they're super clever. But if you went into that restaurant and it was still owned by Asians, would you be offended? See, that's another turn on it, right? Are you offended because it's like Carlos said, not owned by Asian people, or are you offended because this? Or would you be offended if it was still owned by Asian people and you walked in and it said some shit like that? Like,
Well, I mean, I've gone into pho places, and then I've seen the shirts that the employees wear, like, "Oh, forget about it," or
yeah.
"Faux show." I'm like,
Well,
all
folks
right,
and great.
yeah. Never offended by any of those, but these, a little bit. And then like the restaurant style had changed too, so you just fill out a menu, basically.
Oh, gotcha.
What you want, and then instead of like
So
piling stuff
basically,
on.
instead of the line, they just check boxes and hand it
Yeah.
over, right? And then they give it
Yeah.
to you. Got it. See, that's Mongolian restaurants. You have to stand in line and pick your shit out.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes.
And then
And
just
then you hand it to the guy.
you gotta give $2 to the sad chef in the
Yep.
back, just walking around in circles for 10
Yeah,
hours.
that's right. He has because they make it on the circle.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Pretty
And
mild.
those
I
places-
think he puts on his shoes.
Oh,
that
right.
circle.
Those places are good though, man.
Just check out his Fitbit.
He should have
30,000
wheelies.
steps.
No, he should own wheelies. So he could just kind of.
Yeah.
Oh,
around
yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah. That'd be great.
Like,
You cook
It'd be
faster.
funny if he had those light up shoes and he just like lights up every time he walks around.
not even that. They should have a harness on the ceiling where he's just kind of hanging in the air and he can kind of go around that way.
I'm like, come on, buddy, you're giving me a seizure. Turn off them shoes.
I don't know. I think restaurants like that are they're funny because it's just like you said. You walk in and these goofy ass like they're just trying to be clever. That's all. You know. That's all it really is. They just
That'd be great if Pop Goes the Weasel was playing as he goes around. And then right when he's done, it goes, pop, yeah. And then right gets to the end, pop, and he puts it in your bowl. There you go.
you know how annoyed he would be because he'd have to time it.
Yeah.
So like if he was done like 30 seconds early, he just had to fucking sit there like fucking have to wait for this stupid. And how annoying is that fucking song?
But he'd probably go home and just have nightmares of the damn song.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Couldn't get it out of his head.
Yeah. What was the food good though? I guess that's another thing. Since they changed the way it is, was it good?
It was okay. It was just like they had a item on the menu called a Japanese hot dog, and it was basically a fried potato with like cheese inside. So there was no hot dog inside, but they called it a Japanese hot dog. I was like,
that's offensive to the Japanese. I'm gonna say because
did it come with like a computer chip or something?
I don't get it.
Hey, it don't make no sense. A Japanese hot dog.
There's a chip shortage right now.
We know last week we talked about hot dogs. So was it a sandwich? I just want to throw it out there real quick.
It
was it a Japanese sandwich?
It doesn't even qualify. It was offensive to the sandwich.
Okay. Well, at least you got some Mongolian food in the end.
So yeah. Anyway, so that's the beginning of my night, and then I walk into Shang-Chi already confused and just wasn't sure if I was I don't know if what I saw was racist or not. Then I watched this movie, and it brought me back to the roots. You know, I liked Shang-Chi had a lot of action. Didn't feel like a Marvel movie, but I still thought it was pretty good. I liked how, you know, I would say a quarter of the movie was in Cantonese or Mandarin.
Yeah.
And then you just had to read the subtitles. I felt it was more.
I actually thought they should have
genuine, authentic.
They should have kept most of the movie like that. Like when he went back, basically to China, and then he goes to even Tao Lo, and they all spoke just English to each other. I thought, even when I was watching, it was like this would have been cool if they would have just kept the subtitles. I know it probably would have been a lot, but it just kind of feels more natural if they were all just speaking the language. But I think they kind of used the one character, Kate. Was it Kate? Aquafina's character?
Katie, yeah.
They used her as she doesn't speak Chinese. So everybody please speak English for this one character. Oh, and also Ben Kingsley, of course, doesn't speak Chinese. Can we all speak English for this one character? Oh, okay. That's why we all speak English for the half
but
of the
he
movie.
spoke Chinese monster though. Like he could talk to the fucking
I know.
Yeah,
to the
no face, six-legged winged
the box with legs.
What the hell that thing was, yeah.
It was just a butt, right? Like I was kind of curious to what the butt looked like of the butt.
I don't know what it was. It was interesting. The movie was good. You're right. It didn't feel like a Marvel movie because there's no element of a hero being created in a sense, you know.
Yeah.
And there's also no element, even a person like Thor, where we know he gets his abilities from and so forth. There's none of that. Shang-Chi's just a badass martial artist trying to hide out on his own without people knowing. But I tell you what, that bus scene at the beginning of the movie, they couldn't live up to that scene the rest of the movie. I was like, oh shit. And then I was like, oh no, you guys are trying hard to beat that one scene, but you can't do it. You always have to bring dragons in.
So I'm not familiar with the comic book part of it. I mean, I know a little bit about the Ten Rings, and I know how Ben Kingsley had played the Mandarin earlier in Iron Man 3, but I didn't know about the rest of it. So like there was that scene in the building just after he came back to China, and it was like a kabuki masked person. I don't know who that is, but I felt like they were kind of important, but there was no explanation for who it was. Do you guys know who that is, or who I'm talking about?
I don't know who you're talking about, but they killed that guy way too easy, way too fast.
Yeah. I kind of felt like that character was supposed to be the badass, you know, hitman of the bad guys, but yeah, he just didn't last very long. And I was like, oh, he looks so cool. I don't know if it's an actual comic book character. I couldn't tell you yes or no, but I was disappointed that it didn't last very long.
It reminded me of Captain Phasma, like in this shiny suit.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then they
yeah.
just kicked her.
Just wasted it.
Yeah.
Just wasted it.
I mean, he trained everybody, so you think he'd be a little more trained to avoid being picked up by one of those damn dragons? Doesn't he?
What do you mean?
Didn't he train Shang-Chi as a child?
I don't know how you train yourself to avoid a dragon.
Yeah, how do you
like,
think avoid a dragon? There's
You're
no
more
dragon.
aware of what's going
I
on.
mean,
You
you
should
know,
duck
but you and I
duck
took
roll,
Taekwondo,
duck
so like, all right, left punch, left kick, you just parry that. A dragon?
Like, where's the dragon to train against?
Yeah, but didn't he have a sword? How quickly would have been just like like anywhere everyone else is whip out a sword and cut this thing in half and let's keep going. But no, they got rid of him way too quickly. He wasn't as
Like
tough
with
as
the
he
dragon,
was.
your only option is to die.
He didn't last until
It was
the
a little
end.
dragon that picked him up though. It
No,
wasn't
he
a big
didn't.
one,
You
right?
know, like he didn't die like halfway through the movie. He made it to the climax.
Yeah, but he
well
wasn't
in
very
that.
much of the movie. He should have been more. He was
No, but
kind of like Taskmaster. Taskmaster was a waste.
Taskmaster was a waste, but Taskmaster served a much bigger purpose in that movie than this fella. This fella with the kabuki mask. No, it's a good movie. I like I said, I didn't really walk out at all connecting it to Marvel. I just felt it was a really good martial arts movie. Shang-Chi is a character from, I think, the late 60s, maybe the early 70s, where Marvel basically tried to capitalize on all the Kung Fu hype movies. You know, in that time, especially the early 70s, Kung Fu movies were huge.
Yeah.
And they just wanted to do that. Oh, we need a Kung Fu. Because in the comics, his name was Shang-Chi, the Kung Fu Master. And he was basically just a bite off Kung Fu movies. He rocked a yellow headband with some red pants that all was like kind of like Chinese design on it. Like, you know, he was a straight up 70s. Imagine a 70s disco Kung Fu fighter.
Yeah, imagine Ryu, but in a red gi instead of a white one. And long hair. He had long
hair. And so he's Liu Kang, basically.
There you go.
But it's cool that they brought him into because I see it because at the end he's basically an Avenger. You know, they basically make him an Avenger more or less. Aquafina for some reason too. I don't understand that. And but with the 10 rings, he's a badass. You know, he's basically a badass, like more than he already was. He already was a badass. But the fighting's really good. I don't think the movie's slow. I think it has a really good pace. I did not like the stupid scene where they drive the BMW through the forest. And to be honest, Aquafina's character was pointless. She just didn't really need to be in the movie. Besides the beginning scenes, there's no point for her to tag along at all.
I don't understand her being invited by Wong at the end either.
Right. We need both of you. Like, what?
Yeah, it makes no sense. She has no powers.
Do you need her to park your car? Because
Yeah,
she's really
exactly.
good at that, right?
Exactly. Like, and that's the dumb part. The way they used her was, yeah, you can come with. Oh, she's like, oh, I'm going with you. He could have easily just changed his plane flight, and then like, he could have easily just changed that. And then when they get there, she just seems like she was only there to drive the BMW. Like that was the comedy scene she was
relief.
there for.
They just needed her for the.
It was comedy relief, but it was pointless. It really was.
Yeah, like you said, it was pointless. She was in the way.
Yeah. Oh well, she did learn to shoot arrows in one day.
We already have Hawkeye. We don't need her.
It just, like I said, really good martial arts movie. I'll be honest, the ending I didn't care for though. I didn't care for the dragons. It would have been much better if the father and son just duked it out, and they did, but then it turned into a dragon thing. But it should have been them duking it out in a really badass kung fu. And like I said, that part was cool when Shang-Chi realized he didn't need the rings; he had power anyway. So
now the rings, they had some evil, or they attracted evil.
I think it depends on the wearer, whoever's wearing them.
Okay.
Because you see how they changed colors when Shang-Chi put them on.
Right.
They turned orange.
They were gold.
Had them when they were blue.
Yeah,
gold,
yeah.
whatever.
And the evil dragon knew about the rings and could basically manipulate the person that had the rings. And
so the evil dragon can't talk to Shang-Chi and be like, "Hey, there's some pussy behind these walls.
Yeah, your mama's back here. Yeah. You want to say your mama?" I like how to the dad it's the mom's voice, but to Shang-Chi it's just a whole different dude. Hey, bro, what you doing? Anyway, behind this wall,
we got a PS5 right here.
Me so hungry. Why don't you come back here? I mean, there's certain parts of the movie. I just didn't like the ending. Like the scene where they fought on the side of the building was freaking badass.
Yeah.
Abomination fighting Wong, I thought was silly. because it made it seem like they threw the fight in the locker room.
They did.
That's what I mean. That's what it's made it seem like when he's like,
no, they were.
I told you how to throw that punch. You don't do that. Come on, let's go. And then he treated him like he was his little dog.
Well,
So does that mean that Abomination is going to be a good guy in the She-Hulk?
Does he have control over his anger issues?
I mean, here's the thing. That's what Abomination is supposed to look like in comparison to the when we first saw him in Incredible Hulk. I just feel like it's not the same Abomination.
It is. Tim Roth is playing Abomination.
No. What I'm saying is it felt like it wasn't the same Abomination because like you said, he was more like wrestling, like it was scripted. Okay, we're done with this fight, right? If it didn't look good, we collected our money. We can go. I was like, Wong was they were throwing the fight to collect their money.
That's what they were doing.
And I was like, come on,
doing it for the money.
I like the fight technique with Wong because when I saw Doctor Strange, I was like, all right, a bunch of wizards. I guess they're kind of cool, but then like to open a portal and then to have
Abomination punch himself.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
Should have punched himself in the dick. Would have been hilarious.
Yeah. And
then somehow Awkwafina's in the scene to make it funnier. She just makes things funnier. Okay, that's her job. Okay, to talk loud. Okay, be funny. Okay, God damn it.
Settle down. Yeah,
anyway, no, it was cool. Like I said, and even that whole scene was cool. The whole building, the ninjas attacking the building was I liked everything up to the point where I didn't like the stupid BMW going through the forest. Yeah, it felt so stupid. I think it would have been cooler if some magic, those dragon horses took them through the forest or some shit. Those were pretty cool looking. The end, I thought the ending was, because really in the end, that was the story. The story really wasn't just the dad wanted his kids back. It was the dad being manipulated by this magical evil dragon and not knowing it. And somehow, they can break that. And I don't know. Even the kids, when he locked his kids up for not believing him and they're telling his dad, no, she's dead. They could just went along with it. It just saw water come out of nowhere to engulf them in the hallway. I would have been like, you might have a point, Pops. Let's go check it out. Like, what's the deal here? Yeah. There's little things. I was like, this it's kind of dumb. But
like he was pretty fucking evil before he met that chick, right? The dad. And he had murdered a lot of people.
Well, you know what they say, man. Poo-Tang, man, it's powerful, bro. It's powerful. What's powerful weapon between the legs? You know what I'm saying? So he's changed, man.
Who says that?
Oh, some guy mad. He told me that Virginia was powerful. So
he wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong.
He's made him. I mean, he had kids and he put the rings away, and I don't know why he thought that he could have saved his wife. That was like his guilt. Was like, if I had my rings, I could. Like, how? You weren't here. You were collecting water or some shit. Like, you weren't even home. What the rings would have done?
You couldn't Grubhub some water?
It took a while for those guys to even find him. I mean, how could all the kids were before those gangsters even found where he lived?
Oh, and his wife, it looks like she took care of all of them.
Right. It was one of those, she killed everyone, they killed her, but there was like 40 of them.
Mm-hmm. They should have showed that fight scene.
Yeah.
That would have been director's cut. Zack Snyder needs to jump on this. And I don't know. What do you guys think? What would you rate it? Give me like maybe tidbits of what you really liked and what you didn't like about the movie. Carlos?
Let's say, Carlos should go first.
He's not giving us any tidbits here. He's just, he did one of the, come on, Carlos. Say something nice about the movie. Say something nice.
Well, I like how they tried to correct how they white down the title of the movie, Shang-Chi, with the scene on the plane where he's trying to tell her how to pronounce his name, Shang-Chi. I thought it was pretty cool. I like that, Shang-Chi. Yeah, like Johnny, it didn't feel like a Marvel movie at all. That was kind of cool. But also, instead of they could have brought any Marvel character into the movie, but they totally decided to keep the movie as Asian, I guess, oriented as possible. No pun intended.
Oriented?
Wow. Just this guy sounds like that place you went to go eat, Johnny. Yeah, wow. This guy over here.
And they used Wong instead of, they could have brought anybody in, but they used Wong. So that was pretty cool. They didn't have to bring anybody in, really. I mean, they could have just.
Well, they had to tie it into Marvel somehow. And then Ben Kingsley wasn't it, so.
Right.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know who else they could have brought in.
I actually did like the fact that it was an all Asian cast through the whole entire thing. And the Kingsley thing made sense because we all know what it's from and how it ties in. But I actually
Right,
was
they had to
like,
explain his.
yeah, I was like,
Oh.
oh, thank God though. Everybody, like everyone's Asian in this movie. Like, all of a sudden the aunt's a white lady. Oh, you're home. You're home. Welcome to Tung Lao. I'm trying to get a Starbucks, but they won't let me bring it in. Anyway. What? Like,
Oh, that reminds me. Did you guys hear about that pair of white chicks in Texas or something like that? They started making mahjong pieces, but they made it very white. So like they changed up the characters and just had English sayings on it and stuff like that. So there was a big online protest to like get them to stop.
Ooh, an online protest.
They're appropriating
Those are the
Asian
good
culture.
ones. Did you go to change.org and write on the petition?
I don't give a fuck about that shit. Mahjong confusing enough. I mean, I welcome English.
If these
sayings
people
on
were to
it.
give me these mahjong chips, these mahjong squares,
you wouldn't know the difference.
I would know the difference because I don't know the damn game. I'm like,
But the best
cool.
part though is that people that are outraged are also white, probably. So
No.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I would say the petition probably started in like Berkeley or something like that, but for someone's class. But that's just a side. You brought in the white, a potential white aunt. And it made me think of the white chicks that appropriated mahjong.
yeah, no, the movie's good. What'd you rate it, Carlos? It looks like your takeaway is that you like the plane scene, and
I like the martial arts aspect. That's what I went in looking for. That's what I went in looking for when I went to go see Snake Eyes. But fuck that movie.
Ooh,
fuck that movie.
Let's not talk.
Anybody involved in the movie, fuck them.
wow, that's harsh.
Anyway, yeah, no, I like the martial arts aspect, and it was cool. And probably give it a. It's a good movie, Marvel movie. I'd probably give it a 3.5. 3.5.
Johnny, your likes, dislikes, takeaways, and rating.
The rating, I would probably give it the same 3.5. I like the martial arts. Visually, it was a great movie. But like I said, it didn't feel like a Marvel movie. I guess I'm used to the Marvel movies and the Avengers theme. I just don't see him fighting in the like Civil War, for example, the airport fighting scene.
I could see it though, because if he has the rings, he's a
Then
badass.
what?
Because the rings
He's
make
just-
him.
Without
Well, the rings
he's
make
nothing.
him like the superhero. You know what I mean? Other than that, he's just a badass martial arts guy. He's just like, But then again, Black Widow's part of the Avengers. And what's she got? I'm pretty sure Shang-Chi beat her ass.
Not if
Maybe
she had a gun in her hand.
No, he's trained. He's trained against guns and
Yeah,
dragons.
he blocks bullets and dragons.
He's the last
Mhm.
dragon. Is he the last dragon?
Oh,
show
he should
enough.
be an Avenger.
Sure
Show
enough,
enough.
he is.
That's a movie they should remake. Yeah, that'd be fun.
No, you don't remake that movie. It's too
Yeah.
good.
I mean, it's fun already as
Mm.
is. I'm just saying you could probably remake that movie. It wouldn't, But anyway, Johnny give it a 3.5?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. I'll give it a 3. Good martial arts. Great cast. I thought the casting was great. I thought he was good. Sam Liu? I don't know how to say his last
I
name.
think so.
Um,
We'll go with that.
he was
He won't
really
know.
good. And the way he got the part was interesting. I don't know if you guys recall, but when they
I don't know if
announced
was that
Shang-Chi,
real though? Is that
he tweeted to Marvel, "I'm ready when you are," and they gave him a casting for it,
an audition?
an audition. Yeah, he auditioned and he got the part.
I don't know if it's a true story, but I'm gonna go with it. That's fine.
Yeah, and then he put it on his Twitter.
From
he even,
Twitter?
he even
Yeah.
screenshot his original thing and then
get my Twitter
screenshot.
account active again.
Then he's wow.
What else? What
They're
else
not
is coming
making. They're not making. There's no other Asian
A
characters.
Buddha
in Marvel,
movie.
I'm
They're
sorry.
not making
like-
a Buddha movie for me.
I don't. You know what?
Matrix
Does
5.
DC have any Asian characters for you? I'm not sure. I'll have to look it up, man. I'll look it up. I'll give it a 3. Like I said, I didn't care for the ending. I didn't care for Aquafina's character, which wasn't horrible in the movie. She just wasn't necessary. But I do want to see where it goes with the 10 rings with the sister. I didn't understand the ending very much. She's turning it into an enterprise. She's now got is it a social media thing she's got going on? Is it?
Well, I mean, she's still a little gangster.
That's what I mean. What was the point of all the graffiti on the building and then all the computers and everybody looks like they're doing marketing and they're setting up all the Amazon accounts and
then because I
Russian
feel
bots,
like
I don't know,
a lot of her dad's followers or now her followers.
they're still there. The guy,
Yeah.
one
So
handy.
hey, by the way, we're not going to be thugs anymore. Like I need you to learn how to type. Like I don't.
Yeah, I don't get it. And we're gonna turn our this to a corporation, a media conglomerate. Like I didn't know like where's that going? Like because it
turn
clearly is
into,
going somewhere because it said at the end 10
Because she's not
rings will be
evil,
back.
so but she's got all these evil followers or
I think
people
in the-
that follow the evil people.
I think in the book she continues the 10 rings in an evil aspect. She's still like an organization for hire.
Well, they didn't foreshadow any like bad intentions or
No, that's the
a
thing.
bad
exactly.
heart for her. So
She started
yeah.
Alibaba is what she did.
Oh, is that what it wish.com
She
is
started-
hers?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. And then if you give her $50
Mhm.
for 30 days, she'll promote your podcast and guarantee you 100 listeners a day.
Oh, she's already
In a phone
bullshit.
bank, you know, those phone
It's
farms
already
where it's just a
bullshit.
wall of phones.
You can buy Twitter followers through
That's
her and all
right,
that shit.
and Instagram followers.
Let's be clear,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
making
yeah.
this shit up, right? Because
And
I got
so-
$50 right now.
And SoundCloud listens and all that stuff.
That's
Yeah.
right.
I will invest.
It all makes sense. You want to be on a Spotify
Promote.
playlist? I got you $100. All right, let's take a break here. Nerds Talking the podcast. We'll be right back after this.
Hi there, it's Heather from Watching Netflix Without You, the podcast. There are over 1,200 Netflix original feature films and documentaries, and that number is only growing. So I've made it my mission to watch as many as I possibly can, and with a delightful guest or guests in each episode, rate, review, and discuss each film. And that's about it. You can listen to Watching Netflix Without You on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and more.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking the podcast. I'm here with Carlos, Johnny, and I'm Lafayette. And today is National Fill in the Blank Day. Do you love national days? As in National Hot Dog Day, National Marathon Day. Maybe there's a National Dog Walking Day. I'm pretty sure there is. Our
The
National
Donut Day.
there is a
Pizza
National
Day.
Donut Day and a Pizza Day. Who comes up with these? Number one, how are they implemented? Like Veterans Day?
It should be holidays.
They should be holidays for certain days. Like
I think
that's
fat
weird.
people come up with these holidays.
Wow.
Just judging by the National Day or nationaldaycalendar.com,
Mhm.
I think there's some fatties behind this.
So
January-
there's no National Asparagus Day.
Oh, I'm sure there is, but January 2nd is National Buffet Day, as well as National Cream Puff Day,
Oh,
and it's National Personal Trainer Awareness Day.
Awareness.
They're aware that they're there, but they're still going to go to the buffet.
They sneak
and
around that
have a
day?
cream puff.
The next day is National Chocolate Covered Cherry Day,
Oh my
shit.
god.
National Drinking Straw Day. Jesus.
The thing is, like,
I want a
how are
plastic straw.
these how they come up with them? Because even 7-Eleven on always July 11th, it's National Slurpee Day.
Well, that makes
Yeah.
sense though. 7-Eleven.
No, I get it. But I'm just saying in general, like, who comes up with any of these? How do they get out in the open? Because I hear
Probably-
about it sometimes too, like on the radio. Oh, do you guys know that today is National Hat Day? And I'm like, what?
Well,
First of
obviously,
all-
7-Eleven came up with their own for a marketing thing. Now, the rest of these, I'm not aware of what.
Well, it's just it. I think most of them do have a marketing implication somewhere built around it. Some type of, I just said asparagus, but some type of asparagus organization, because there's organizations for everything. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
There's a freaking, I didn't know this, but here in Southern California, there's an amusement park organization, and they represent 2 amusement parks in Southern California. There's Six Flags and Universal Studios, but they need a whole
Disneyland,
organization.
not part of
Nah, they're above that, buddy.
it?
They're
All right, so
above.
what
about
about like
Legoland?
Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk? Are carnies part of that?
That's an amusement park, I think. I'd
Yeah,
call
but
it an
like
amusement park.
they can't be part of the same association, right? The fucking traveling town to town.
Oh, you
the
mean like
ones you see in
the
the-
traveling? No, the traveling amusement parks. No, I don't think so. No,
Yeah.
no.
I mean, they got to
No.
be looked down upon by the National
But- yeah,
Amusement
but-
Park Society.
But what I'm
right?
saying is somebody like that organization will, whoever it is they got to talk to, or however it is, to market a national amusement park day. You know what I mean? It's same as an asparagus, whatever organization will say, yeah, we should have a day too. How about we call, March 16th the National Asparagus Day, and we promote a whole marketing campaign around it. Same as buffet
Yeah,
day.
but nobody's marketing it. Nobody's spending money on this crap. They're just saying Hey, today's National Part Your Hair to the Right Day or something stupid. Not
Yeah, I know,
Johnny not
but-
included.
But if
But you know.
something like that
Whoa,
caught on,
whoa,
National
unnecessary.
National Haircut Day did catch on. Somebody like Supercuts will probably try to market around it, even if it's just an online campaign on Twitter or Instagram or some stupid shit. And it's just funny when I hear things like that. Did you know that today's National Donut Day? And I'll be like,
You know what's funny? You threw out a random day,
Yeah.
March 16th.
yeah.
That's a National Artichoke Hearts Day,
See? Artichokes.
Not asparagus.
as well as National Panda Day.
That's two.
National Panda Day.
National.
National.
Curl Crush Day. I don't know what that is. Is that a
Curls, like you
drink?
crush your curls. No, like we're doing curls, crushing, baby. Get 'em.
I don't- Oh, they're gym people.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Brah.
Go heavy.
Okay,
National
go back
Curl
to the
Crush
panda
Day.
thing. Go back to the panda thing.
Go back
Is
to
it
it.
National Panda Express Day or National
No,
Panda
Panda
as in the
No,
animal
like
day?
real
Panda.
panda.
Because this is
yeah.
national, which means only America does this. There's no pandas indigenous to America.
No, but we can celebrate
Why
them.
would they
Yeah,
celebrate?
They have them at the zoos.
Yeah, we can celebrate them.
Yeah.
You don't like
That's
pandas?
so dumb.
Are you anti-pandas? I like pandas.
Yeah. They're
Pandas
black
seem like
and
they're so
white.
cuddly and
And
They're
Asian.
they're the first, like,
Black, white, and
besides
Asian.
zebras, they're very like mixed.
they look like they wouldn't hurt
ethnically.
you.
They
The
don't look
orange
like they can
chicken.
hurt you.
I saw
Oh,
this
chicken.
clip. I think it was in a Chinese zoo where the guy got too close to the fence and the panda like almost ripped that motherfucker through the bars. It's pretty sweet.
Now that
They just
I
wanted
wanna
to
see.
play. Come on.
Ooh, he wanted to play with
I
his
mean,
insides.
like I said, the thing about national holidays, I'll hear about it usually when I'm listening to the radio or
Yeah, on the
something to that
radio they
effect,
tell
and
you.
they'll bring it up too, almost like, let's run through the weather and this and that. Oh, did you know that today's National Batman Day? And you're like, oh no, I did not. What does that mean? Like, what do we do? Like, do we all fight crime at night? Like, how do we go about this? Are you supposed to celebrate these days? Is there a reason for me telling this? So I think it's just, it's silly stuff.
Stupid.
It doesn't mean anything, but it is fun sometimes to hear like people will say things like that. Did you know it's National Snowball Day? You're like, oh, how do I go about this?
I can't make a snowball in California.
How do I capitalize on this said holiday?
Carlos, let's see what's on your birthday.
Oh, that's okay. Let's see birthdays. August 25th. What is it? What does Carlos get to celebrate that day?
National
Yeah.
Park Service Founders Day.
Absolutely.
Nice.
National Whiskey Sour Day.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow. What else?
All
That's
right.
just two?
National Kiss and Makeup Day.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
National Secondhand Wardrobe Day.
This is
What
all
the
sounds.
And
good.
National
about
Banana
right.
Split Day.
my broke ass
Damn.
needs a banana split after I make up with whomever.
Yeah, well, you got an itchy shirt from a fucking thrift store while eating a banana sundae
At a
You-
park.
that's how you celebrate that day.
At the
Mhm.
park while I drink my whiskey sour.
While I
I
drink
sound
my
like I'm
whiskey
fucking
sour.
homeless, dude. What's
Yeah,
going on
you are
here?
homeless. Or you're just down on your luck that day. Johnny, what's your
Lafayette.
birthday?
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
It's April 11th.
Yeah,
So
okay.
for me,
National. Now it's
National Barbershop Quartet Day,
Shit.
National Cheese Fondue Day.
okay.
Oh, I have a feeling this one might be old. National 8-track Tape Day.
Wow. Wow.
I feel like with the ones that are obsolete now, just get rid of it.
Your day is not going as well as the other Carlos's day. It's
Me
not.
too.
National
friends
Pet
for your
Day.
day.
Okay.
Pet
Oh,
Day. National Pet Day. Okay.
and
you got one
National
good one.
Submarine Day. And I don't know if that's subs
Ooh,
or
Subway?
actual.
We'll go with subs like you can eat
Or
okay,
U-boats
for your
type of-
benefit.
Or yeah.
Not U-boats.
Let's go submarine sandwiches. 'cause you used
Just
to
go
work at
sub
Subway.
sandwiches. That
That's
way
right. I
you
used to work at
oh.
Subway. And
you can take your pet to the subway
Yeah.
with the quartet singing outside. Yeah.
while eating fondue.
Well, fondue is
Okay. What about you, Lafayette? What's
that's
the birthday?
July 29th, and it's gonna be, of course, National Karate Day. Probably something to do with really cool handgun tricks
National
and rodeos.
really bad joke day. Come on, let's
Wait,
go.
wait, what day is it?
July
27th
29th,
or 29th. 29th.
National Chuck Norris Day. I'm pretty sure is on there.
Damn, you got a good one. All right. You got a good day, my friend. National Lasagna Day.
Hell yeah.
Look at you, fucking Garfield.
Uh-huh.
National Lipstick Day.
Okay.
That's about right.
National Chicken Wing Day.
Damn. All right.
National Chili Dog Day.
Oh, just killing this
Yeah,
day.
fatty.
and,
killing this
national,
day.
and National Intern Day.
Okay. Okay. So there we go. So 4 out of
Yeah,
5
we
isn't
win.
too
Where
bad.
does lipstick go with the intern?
Yeah.
That's a Monica
That sounds
Lewinsky thing.
yeah, doesn't sound that
That's
sounds
Bill
like
Clinton and
Bill
Monica
Clinton
Lewinsky.
Day. Yeah, National Clinton Day. Yeah, so it looks like I won the national holidays. So
Glad you did.
Good
I
job.
did.
Yeah,
And those
you
just mainly
did.
food. 3
But
food
good
items.
food, you know,
I
like,
know.
It
Chicken
wasn't
wings, chili
National
dogs,
Artichoke
lasagnas.
Heart Day or
Woo,
fucking Asparagus
buddy.
Day.
So everyone, check your national holiday, check your birthday, and compare it to your friends.
NationalDayCalendar.com.
There you go, and see where you stand on your birthday, and if your day sucks or not. And we'll be right back after this on Nerds Talking the Podcast.
What day is National Nerds Talking Day?
That's gonna be
Today.
Today. Is it today?
It's every day.
It's every day.
365.
Pretty sure some nerds are always talking. We'll be right back after this.
Have you ever had a roommate tell you that you're not allowed to pick the movie tonight because you always pick those weird indie cult slasher trash fests? Same here.
Have you ever felt like you had to tell your roommate that their taste in horror movies is terrible?
Same here. At What's Your Least Favorite Scary Movie podcast, we recognize that the horror genre has a little bit of something for everybody, but everybody's not gonna like every horror offering. That's why we like to talk about our least favorite aspects and most debatable opinions of our most favorite scary movies.
We fight over our favorites.
Check us out at What's Your Least Favorite Scary Movie wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking the Podcast. We're with Carlos and Johnny, and I'm Lafayette. It is Friday, October 1st. Go out and see Venom. Are you guys gonna see Venom? You guys interested in seeing Venom? The new Venom movie, part
I want
2?
to see Venom.
Yeah. we'll watch
Is it called Let There Be Carnage, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So Venom. Did you guys like the first one? I don't know.
I did. I enjoyed the first one.
You guys are fans of comics, so you guys know the history behind it, and you have more to look forward to. Like,
Yeah, but then we also have more to hate if they get it wrong.
that's true.
Yeah, we
good point.
we walk out because we know it, and we're scrutinizing even more. Like, because I thought the movie was horrible, but I thought it was fun. You know, to me, it was one of those
Venom
fun
in
movies.
Spider-Man 3, Tobey Maguire.
Ugh.
but
Rough,
it was more.
right?
But the story was way more accurate. So,
But it was
that's
still
the thing.
it was garbage. Like
It was crap.
so-
No, it was crap. But the story's
Absolutely
more
garbage.
accurate though.
Accurate
So,
how?
Well, because Spider-Man and NASA, and then it goes to
Oh, yeah,
Brock.
that part, sure, but
Well, yeah, it's more accurate. I mean, it just is. It's just a shitty compressed story for Venom. You can't compress that story
yeah.
into that. But Venom in the new movie, I don't give a shit for because of the whole comedy aspect, and the Venom character itself is so goddamn lame. Just like always cracking jokes or always, I don't know. Like I said, it was a bad movie, but I enjoyed it. And I think the second one will kind of go the same route.
Well, I'm with
Well, we'll
you.
see.
I'm not really hip on the wisecracking anti-hero. I mean, make him like he is in the book when he first showed up. This guy was villainous, man. He was killing people left and right. He was a
So
murderer.
he's not saying like I'm a loser like you, or
No, none of that
Hey, Eddie,
crap.
we're both losers. Or like, come on, really, man? Like that part was stupid. They try to keep the aspect of I always have to eat and I want to eat humans. You know, it's just the thing is. Well, the thing about the comic though is when he comes to Earth, he's with Spider-Man for a long time. It's not like he's only with Spider-Man for a week. You know, he's attached to Spider-Man's outfit for a long time, and it doesn't really make. He's not evil. He's just more aggressive to get the bad guys, like to punish people, not just to catch them, but to beat their asses and so forth. Like just like it was in Spider-Man 3. In Spider-Man 3, like I said, why it's more accurate is when he does get Venom, he turns into a complete dick, Peter Parker. And
Ooh,
he beats people up. He doesn't
Yeah, but
just
he can dance, man.
Well, he can
dickhead
dance.
Peter Parker walking down the street.
Yeah,
was
exactly.
probably one of my least favorite scenes. in
Yeah,
any
and
movie.
that but it's more accurate where this movie Venom and Brock are separate altogether, where in the comic book Venom is not separate. Once Venom attaches to you, it's almost like you change in the sense of your personality and everything. Like you become a little more of the, I guess I would
It
not
drives your inner,
your
anger.
inner like asshole, basically your asshole part of
your
yourself.
dark side.
Yeah, you complete dick. Like you turn into a Sith, Sith Lord instead of a Jedi. So that's the thing is, like I said, Spider-Man 3 is a horrible movie, but they get those parts right about that character. This movie doesn't. Like I said, it's too jokey, too wisecrack, and if he's not fighting another Venom type of character, the movie doesn't have a point. So the first one he had to fight Venom, type symbiotes. This one he has to fight another symbiote and stop it. It's just a repeated story, more or less, again. Because if you don't have Spider-Man in the story, you can't do much else with that character. It's pretty much flat. He always has to fight a symbiote. That's just what it is, unless you somehow incorporate him into a Spider-Man story, which hopefully they do. I really hope they do, because they made Morbius. They made that movie about the living vampire already, so they can build up Venom and Morbius into the Sinister Six. We'll see where it goes. But as for part 2, I will be checking it out, and it'll probably be the same dumbass shit, but I'll walk out entertained because Venom looks cool.
Yeah.
That's why I look at it. It looks cool, and looks cool on film, and
Yeah, he looks a lot better than the Spider-Man 3 Venom. That's for sure.
yeah, and he's supposed to look huge and like insanely like he's like a monster in a sense. So
I will say in Spider-Man 3, the black Spider-Man outfit was pretty cool at the time. I haven't seen it since, but I just the regular Spider-Man outfit, but all like caked out in black. Thought that was pretty tight.
yeah, like I said, it's accurate. The only thing they should have done on that movie was they should have got rid of the lines in the costume, or
The
just
webbing.
straight. Yeah, it should have been just
Straight
straight
black.
black. It would have been looked better if it was just straight black. But either way, it's a horrible movie.
Whew, it's a rough watch.
And what makes that movie really bad is not even the Venom character as much as it is the Hobgoblin character. James Franco's character, garbage. Just complete
What about
trash.
the Sandman?
It's an okay storyline, It's not a horrible storyline.
It's a rough watch, especially coming off of Spider-Man 2, where they ended up so
with
high.
Doc Ock.
Yeah, and then going to this was kind of rough.
Oh no, it was bad because the whole story behind it was Sam Raimi didn't want Venom in the movie at all, but Sony was like, "Oh no, he's really popular. You got to shove him in the script." So he just shoved him in the script. He's all right. I'll make it work.
Topher Grace was pretty popular at the time.
And he was popular, and it more or less was like what the script's done. It's complete. Sandman's the bad guy, and Hobgoblin or whatever wants his revenge. Oh yeah, can you put Venom in there? Just squeeze him in there. It doesn't matter. Just fit him in there somehow. Okay, I have a dance number if you're interested. Like what? Sure.
Damn, a dance number, you say?
I'm all in. When you go shopping. Okay, sounds cool. You can tell by the way I do my thing.
Stop, Venom.
So Venom, Let There Be Carnage comes out today. Check that out. If you're if that movie made a lot of money, the first one. So that's why you can't ever pan a movie like the critics did. They shitted on that movie and it didn't make a difference.
I think it's because people got the Venom they wanted. That really big, monstrous thing.
Yeah.
The only thing that was missing was a spider on his chest, but it wouldn't have made sense in that movie because he has not met Spider-Man.
Exactly.
And it's funny how they put him on the West Coast, far away from
Frisco.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Not even that. Well, that was because they didn't. I don't think Sony wanted to incorporate Spider-Man into it, to be honest. The dumbest part about Venom also is Venom still has a spider on his chest, even though he has no relation to Spider-Man. So in the comics,
book right now.
Yeah, I'm like, why do you? That doesn't make any. No, that's all I have for that one. Just comic book shit.
But either way, I'm watching it.
There you go. I think we're all gonna watch it, and we're all gonna talk about it here on Nerds Talking, the podcast. But other than that, when you were in high school, Johnny, okay, Spider-Man 3 probably came out. Did it come out? No, that's way too young. It's way too long ago. But when you were in high school, he brought this up. Was it the best years of your life?
I remember hearing that during the graduation speech, look, remember this time, it's going to be the best years of your life. And in certain aspects, it was like, if you got a girlfriend back then, it wasn't because, you were secure, you had a job, you were smart or anything like that. It was, because you're decent looking, or maybe you were funny or something like that. It was, as you grow older, there's more requirements, obviously. And you could play sports. You can make the team, and skill level obviously gets more advanced when you get to like college and whatnot. But so like some people who were on the basketball team, they're not going to play college ball. Maybe that was the best time in their life. For me, I don't know. I wouldn't say it was the best time, but I hear that a lot. And for some people, it is. Some people, they were the big man on campus type of thing.
You find that sad though? Like if that's your high point in life. Yeah, I was like the big man on campus. I was the captain of the football team. And what happened after that? I decided not to go to college because school's hard. And I got a job down the street, construction. I didn't want to continue that. So now I got 7 kids. I've been married twice. And my trailer park, it's decent. It's decent.
Double wide.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was. I would say it was. I look back at it almost like it was what I thought it would be. I played sports and then I had a lot of good friends and da-da-da-da-da. But it was just 4 years of good times, I guess, for that age. Like you said, it's different, girlfriend then now. Well, now you need a resume. Like you said. Yeah. High school, it's more like, are you popular? I don't know.
Are you in my class? Like,
yeah, you're in my class. Yeah.
Like,
or have we known each other since 5th grade?
Yeah.
And
if I worked at a high school, I would make people's classes. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna get this chick hooked up with this dude. Unlikely couple over here, power couple over here. I play matchmaker with the classes.
Nice. I like the way
That's what I would do.
Nice. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, best years of your life. You're right though. Everybody has that speech. Everyone. I think I remember that speech in high school too, at the graduation. These are going to be the best years of your life. Well, at this point, yes. Yes, you're right. At this point, you are probably correct. But you weren't with me in 7th grade. It pretty much kicked ass too. After that, I mean, I'll be honest though. I mean, if you didn't go to a 4-year college and then you were in a dorm and you had that experience, probably after college, it did suck compared to high school. You know what I mean? Like, right. Like I went to community college. It didn't compare. I was like, high school is so much better.
On a side topic, does anyone here give a shit about college sports?
No, I don't really watch college sport. I mean,
you think it's because we didn't go to like a legit like
I think you're right. No, I do. I believe if you went to Ohio State and I went to Notre Dame and Carlos went to Wake Forest, we'd be all into it probably,
And then you'd have lifetime rivalries against
whatever school. I do believe that because people will ask me, "When what's your college football team?" I'm like, I'll tell them too. I'll be honest, man. It's because I didn't go to any of those schools. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I always feel that too when people were like, "Yeah, I cheer for this college." Did you go there? No. Have you ever lived in that state? No. Well, it's odd to me that you would even think that. Like, I mean, it's cool, I guess, whatever. But you're right about one thing. I don't cheer for college sports or teams or anything.
Like when the ESPN comes out with, "Oh, this college is leaving the Pac-12." I don't give a fuck. Like, go ahead, leave. It doesn't make a difference.
Or this school joined the Pac-10 or the Big Ten. And
is there a Pac-12? What am I?
There's Pac-12. No, you're right. It's called Pac-12 now. Cool. Yeah, it's Pac-12, and I think the Big Ten is now the Big 8 or some shit, or Big 12, and you and I only know this stuff because of ESPN.
Right.
Like we'll have it on, and then all of a sudden, Alabama beat everybody again. Good job, Alabama. Good job. You're good at football.
Sorry, I have a friend in high school. I would say he was a little.
He's still in high school?
Yeah.
What a loser.
Awkward.
Or I don't know what he's trying to get at, but he needs to finish.
Shut up. Let me finish my story. So he was kind of socially awkward in high school, and I don't think he ever had a girlfriend in high school or any interest, people interested in him in high school. And he
friend, right? Wink, wink.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us your story.
Because my friend ended up going to Berkeley.
Okay.
And then he was all about
Berkeley.
That. I think he announced for like the women's volleyball team. And then
good decision there.
Just the alumni thing. He'll send money to them every year.
Yeah, he's all in. Yeah, he's all
in.
So he broke out of his shell once he got out of high school.
Yeah, and then I guess that's good for some people.
And that's what I'm saying.
I just can't relate. When
people say the best years of your life, I think people that go to schools like that and they're part of it and they're in the dorms and they're this and that, and it's a big. I think for them, that's the highlight, honestly, of their life. Like probably outside of maybe kids in marriage or whatever, that's the highlight of I think the people that say high school were my best years and they're in their 40s, I'm like, dude, that's not a good thing. Like that's a bad thing. Like it's. Carlos, was high school the best years of your life?
Not at all. I'm just happy to get through high school. No, I think I think those people that were super popular in high school and claim that it's the best years of their lives because they really never really. I just want to say they never really amounted to anything else. Maybe before high school, maybe even after high school. If that's seriously the best times of your life, I mean, it's definitely a growing period. I mean, I learned a lot and learned who to hang out with, who to avoid, and what to do, and this and that. But if I were to, like, if my son, as he's growing up, I would tell him, go to college. Like Lafayette said, go to one of these universities, get absorbed in it. Those are going to be the best days of your life. You're going to be in so much of it. There's so much going on, but not high school.
I do believe though, if you're that high school kid that was super popular, went to all the parties, you played the sports, like you were just like king of the campus, especially your last 2 years, that's when you really become like super popular. I could see them saying that. No, that's the best years of my life, man. I had a good time all the time, man. How were your grades? Don't worry about that part.
And then you start selling women's shoes at the mall.
Yeah, like I had he
Four
scored
touchdowns in one
That's
game.
all that matters. And you'll hang into that story to the end of time.
That's right.
But that's what I'm saying.
Well,
I
guys
think for
like
some
that, yeah, it
people-
was the best days of their
Yeah,
life.
and I think people also still have their high school friends, like somehow hold on to their clique or whatever. That they'll never let that go, because that was the best time of their lives, you know. So, but again, if you're 40 and you're running around going, man, best time of life, man, was I was at high school, it's so much fun, and I blah blah blah. I'm like, man, so nothing since then has really lived up to high school. You need structure. Join the army. Like, what is it you need? What's going to get you back into that lifestyle of yours? Maybe you should enroll in a college even at 40 and see what happens. Maybe,
Or maybe things didn't go their way after high school. That's why high school was the best.
No, that's
time
what
of
I'm
their
saying.
life.
That's what
Everything
that's
was
For some people,
downhill.
then. So for some people, for sure.
I think for
I still have a handful of friends that I'm still pretty close with that I went to high school with, and we still get along great. But we've all grown, and when we get together, we don't talk about JV basketball.
reminiscing about high school and maybe
Yeah.
a couple of things here and there, but
The only I will say that I get made fun of because
Mhm.
I still listen to the same R&B. I
Yeah,
still
but-
got Boys
but
to Men on my playlist.
That's not a high school friends
New
thing. That's
Edition.
everyone, Johnny, that knows you, everyone. So
I'll be with DeVoe.
I mean, yeah. Oh, boys, I played that fucking tape out. But yeah, no, best years of your life. I mean, I don't know. I could say when I grew facial hair, I was pretty cool. So anyway, so best years of your life. I don't know. People listen to this probably now reminiscing. Some people are probably crying because they remember how it sucked so bad or how much they miss it. Look what you did, Johnny. You ruined lives today. Thanks.
How was that?
We'll
Go back to
move
high
on.
school then. Like, don't do-
Go back to high
don't do
school.
that. Don't
Please
do
let me
that.
back. Please. I was so cool. All right. Well, we'll take a break here, and we'll be right back. One last segment here on Nerds Talking.
Are you tired of stumbling across the same old kind of podcast show with a couple of white guys every other day, talking about different forms of entertainment such as movies, music, video games? Well, too bad, because we got another one for you. Introducing the world's most unoriginal and anti-niche podcast ever, the Podwood Forecast. Hosted by Mitchell Owens.
I steal money from poor innocent people who got in car crashes.
And yours truly, Clifford Close. This is a podcast we do for fun where we talk about the little things we enjoy. The Podwood Forecast. Available on any podcast platform.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking, the podcast. I'm with Carlos, Johnny, and I'm Lafayette. Remember to rate, subscribe, review, download, turn on notifications, tell your friends. Every Friday, new episodes of Nerd Talking, the podcast. Nerds Talking, not one nerd, because if it's just one nerd, I don't know if that would be any interest. I think that'd be interesting at all. Somebody teaching about science or physics or something. And so the NBA season is about to start. And myself, I'm a huge NBA fan. I love the NBA. My favorite sport is definitely basketball, especially the NBA. But the NBA is running into a little predicament. The vaccine, which is mandated by certain teams, or not necessarily teams, cities that they play in, that to play within the actual games, you must be vaccinated to be in the arenas. And some players have decided they're not taking the vaccine for one reason or another. Therefore, they cannot play in their home games and some away games, and they will not be paid for these games. So they won't get a paycheck. They're using the vaccine, and their takeaway is certain people have different reasons, right? Religious reasons, but I don't understand the religious reason part. Somebody explain that religious reason to me. One specific player, Kyrie Irving, which he thinks the earth is flat. So,
That's your baseline.
That's where we're starting at. He's not taking the vaccine, and his take is not really because my body, my choice so much. It's more conspiracy theory based in the sense of microchips being tracked. The vaccine is out to get people.
Ooh, that one, yeah.
Yeah, that one's a pretty far-fetched one. Another guy on the Warriors, Golden State, Andrew Wiggins, won't take it for religious purposes. Again, a couple of guys won't. Bill, the Washington Wizards, won't take it because he says that it does not cure COVID. No shit. Good job, buddy. He said it doesn't work.
Doesn't cure the flu.
It doesn't cure COVID. I don't see people are still getting it. That was his response. I'm like, oh my God, bro. They're gonna be out millions of dollars and not be able to
Kyrie, it's gonna be over 400 grand per game he misses, that he can't play.
Yeah.
Wiggins is gonna be less because he's not maxed out like Kyrie.
But Wiggins is going to miss $8.5 million worth of paychecks if he does not get the vaccine. I don't know. It is interesting in the sense of the mandate, right? So we've all got it, right? And then Johnny, you have a job that is mandated, I assume.
No, what's the latest thing with my job is if you're not vaccinated, then you have to get a weekly test.
Oh, okay. So okay.
But then it's kind of dumb because the test results come back in a few days. By then you're already working 3 or 4 days. And
yeah. You're spreading it, and
yeah,
you're the worst. And
you're the worst.
You're the worst. Well, the worst is.
But I haven't heard anyone from my department talking about microchips or trying to kill any certain race. It's more along the lines of it's my right, Constitution.
Constitutional right. It's just funny because the NBA does already have a mandate in the NBA when it comes to certain vaccinations. They ask the players to get flu shots and so forth. And, they have to do certain things to even play basketball. It's not just show up and we'll let you play. You still have to even do other things to play basketball. For instance, you have to pass a physical to even play basketball. You can't just go, no, I'm fine. Believe me. You don't have to check me out. Well, what if we just paid you millions of dollars and you're injured and you're not telling us? No, I'm good. And then they're injured and they never play. It's like, no, the basketball players are basically saying, dude, I want shit put in my body that, well, Kyrie Irving's best thing was
snort or smoke.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving's best thing was, well, I'm still researching it. Isn't that research is done? Like it's out there. Like it's
him and Nicki Minaj are researching it.
Oh my God, the cousin with the big balls.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
a little bit different this time because Kyrie is such a good player and he's the top of the line, and it's different than like say LeBron talking about how unsafe he feels every time he walks out the door because police are killing black people. It's a little bit different this time because Kyrie is saying he's the Kanye West of the NBA. Just he says some stupid shit and then he takes personal days off, like he doesn't want to talk to the media.
Takes random ass days off. Yeah.
I mean, if he had a condition or anything to back it up, maybe I could support him in some way, but since he says so much stupid shit already, it's just tough to. I'd be disappointed if he was on the Lakers. Big Lakers fan. I mean,
the Lakers have come out and said that the whole team's vaccinated. They're good to go. They have no issues.
But if he were on the Lakers, it would just be a drag on the rest of the team.
Oh, for sure.
Will he play today? Will he not?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I couldn't play road games, and only in certain cities. So I go play in New York, they won't let me play.
Do you guys remember? He was on the Kings for a bit. Royce Alexander White.
Yes, he had a phobia of flying.
Yeah, so now like that's kind of a big deal because you can't drive to New York, and
yeah. He was drafted by the Houston Rockets at a very high draft point, and it came to the point where he told them, "Oh, I can't play a road games. What do you mean? I don't like to fly."
Yeah, I've got a phobia. I mean, like he was new. He was just kind of forgotten in the end.
Oh, his career was over. Yeah, literally over right away.
They tried to accommodate him as best they could, and then I think he ended up playing in Canada and did okay. And
he played in the G League for a minute, and then the Kings had him come in, and he ended up sticking to a G League, I think Kings team or some shit. But anyway, it's an interesting topic because it's one thing if the league mandates it. It's just kind of odd. I do think it is odd though that like the city mandates you can only be in an arena if you're vaccinated. They're like, oh shit, I can't play basketball.
Well,
You
the
know,
NBA is mandating their staffers. to
they're
get
mandating
vaccinated.
everybody that isn't a player because the union,
Right,
player union.
right.
But the
Because
player union kind
the
of, you know,
uh,
the player union kind of screwed the players also. They came out and said, hey, so let you guys know that if you don't play, you don't get paid. Like they thought the player union was going to back them. And they're like, no, we're not backing you guys. If you don't play outside of being injured, you do not get paid. That's basically how work works. You know what I mean? Like it's not like Johnny can phone in his job.
right. I can't zoom this.
Okay. Hey, you can put the laptop by the guy's door, the guard.
You stop
Hey, stop
stabbing
fighting!
him.
Stop fighting!
Oh, don't do that. Oh, come on, man.
Don't make me come down there because
And then Johnny freezes for 30 minutes.
Right.
You know, I don't know, Carlos, what's your take on the NBA, these particular players and their reasoning behind not getting vaccinated and the whole city aspect of it, certain cities, because for instance, Andrew Wiggins, oh no, let's use Bradley Beal. He can't play in certain cities. He just can't play. They won't let him play in it.
I don't know. I think if you choose not to play, then yeah, you don't get paid. That's how it should be. I mean, you are choosing. And what do your teammates think of you? I mean, are you a letdown to your teammates? I mean, because obviously they look up to, especially someone like Kyrie Irving, they look up to him to help him win the games, and he's not going to be there. So are you a teammate at that point, or are you just an entitled rich kid who? Well, now he's rich, but that's how he acts. Like I can do whatever I want. I'm that good, and I make that much money. I can do whatever I want. Don't tell me what to do. And I'm okay with the mandate. I'm okay with the people needing to get vaccinated. And the whole argument about my freedoms and the Constitution, all the bullshit. I mean, we're getting the flu shot. I mean, not everybody was getting it, but people still get it. And it's not going to cure the flu. It's just to help deter it. So that's what this is as well. I think it's a good move on the union and the cities.
But you have a good point,
bad move on the.
Yeah, Johnny had a good point. The Kanye West thing. I equate it to if you're rich, you think you're smart. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like I got money. You know what? My opinion really matters now. I've done no research, but anyway, let me speak on it. I got money. Like it's one of those things where, to me, people say, "Oh man, Kyrie's a really smart guy." There's a difference between being smart and having smarts. Somebody can be smart and smart with their actions, but actually having smarts in a sense of education, that's a whole different ballgame. So when Kyrie Irving comes out and goes, I'm not taking it because microchips, it's the black community, they're out to get us, and like any conspiracy theory you may have heard some nut job shit, you're like, bro, like come on, man. Why don't you just ask people around you that have taken it? And the whole thing about you're still going to get sick. Yes, that's a vaccine is not a cure, man. Like if anything, all three of us may have already had COVID since being vaccinated. And maybe we never knew it, or had a very, I had a headache for 3 days at one point, and that may have been it. Wouldn't you rather have that and then instead of being sick? Like, it's, I don't know. Like
in the end, it's going to be a waste of talent.
It
just reminds me
is.
of Allen Iverson and like his bad boy attitude, and it's all about practice.
Let me do
it's
what
just
I want.
Practice.
Yeah.
Eventually, the league is going to,
crack down,
push him out,
sure,
and
yeah.
then
Injuries.
and
He's even said if they trade me, I'm gonna retire. Well, you're on a 1-year contract, so if they trade you, it's only a benefit to the Nets. Like, and somebody else will take that contract, so they can dump salary and go, we don't give a shit if he retires. Like, we just want to dump salary on the Nets. Thank you.
I mean, it's such a shame because he's so friggin' good.
He is good, but he, like you said, even prior to this, he was kind of a problem for the Nets because he would just take off any day he wanted.
Yeah.
He'd just tell the coach, hey, Steve, not today. What do you mean not today?
Like, how many interviews did the coach have? Like, is Kyrie playing today? I don't know.
Yeah,
haven't
Steve
talked
Nash
to him.
couldn't answer it. Yeah, I didn't talk to him yet. And that's the crazy part.
After a week, after 2 weeks, it gets kind of old.
Mm-hmm.
But now, like, he has a vaccine to make an excuse.
To make an excuse.
I ain't gonna talk to the media because of COVID.
Yeah. Hey, and one last thing, let me know how you guys feel about this. One last thing is outside the NBA, but NBA does start soon. Love. Your Lakers team is stacked. It's stupid.
What?
That team is stacked. It's ridiculous. Like it's beyond ridiculous how stacked.
Oh, it's stupid good, right?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, even though they're all over 40, it's still stupid as shit. That lineup is like, wow.
I mean, they tried it when they signed Karl Malone and Gary Payton.
It did work. They got to the finals.
They did, but then
Malone got injured, and that really killed him because Malone was killing it.
I heard a story like later on where he like tried to pick up on Kobe's wife, and
because she thought she was 13.
yeah, you know what's funny? I didn't realize like Karl Malone's kind of a bad person.
Yeah.
He has like a daughter he doesn't acknowledge.
And he would always hit on underage women, and because I'm Karl Malone, and I have cowboy boots.
He kind of a dick.
Yeah. But the other thing, this is actually out here in LA. So LA, they just recently announced a mandate that you can only go to amusement parks if you show a vaccine card.
Okay.
All right. So the amusement parks are saying, holy shit, you can't just drop that on us. We don't have enough employees for that type of thing. We don't know what you're going to do to our attendance. They assume already it's going to kill our attendance, blah, 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 blah. How do you guys feel about that, though? From like mandating that to get into amusement parks, don't you feel at some point people have to goddamn take responsibility for themselves and even know not to go? Or, you know what I mean? Like it does have to get to a point where like, hey, you fucking idiots, you need to take responsibility for yourself and your health. That means other people as well. So either just don't come to the park, or if you do, whatever, mask up or whatever. I don't know. Kind of feel like at some point people do just got to take goddamn responsibility.
Oh, I would agree with that, but it's, we're all vaccinated here, so it's easy to speak on it. If I don't have any problems with the vaccine, but I know a lot of people that do. I've talked to people in hospitals, and they always try to, like one, I think it was a Muslim girl. She tried to apply for the religious exemption because there's some pig or something like that in the vaccine.
No, he's not.
I never heard of that one.
Forgot what it is, but I don't know if it's Moderna or something. It's there's something to that effect. But it's not. Yeah, it's stupid. It's really stupid.
Well, my wife is Muslim, and if that was the case, she wouldn't have taken it.
Yeah, but it's such a stupid reasoning. Go ahead, Johnny, continue. Yeah.
No, I mean, there are people in every field that are like that. They're very skeptical about it. And I don't know. I feel like you've had worse shit in your body before. It's not that big of a deal. Just fucking get vaccinated so we can open up the parks and shit. And I mean, for me, it's good. I don't like Disneyland when it's crowded as hell. I've got a young daughter now. She's 18 months. And if I take her to the park, well, for one, she's not even going to give a shit. It's just, I could take her to the mall. It's going to be the same thing. She's not going to appreciate it.
Take it to the Disney store.
Yeah. But she's not going to walk around with a mask all day.
No, of course not. Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. For us, it's like, oh, great, less people, and everybody's vaccinated, high-fiving everybody as you walk around. Yeah, you're cool, man. I don't know you, but it's. I don't know. I also feel like those people that don't want to get it, there's that aspect they're screwing things up, but there's the aspect also of, but we're, you're kind of dicking them too, in a sense. They want to go to Disneyland too.
If you want to go to the happiest place in the world, you need to be vaccinated. That's
pretty much it, though. It really is pretty much it. One quick side note, though, you're right about the gelatin, which comes from pigs. It is found in most common vaccines, but not the COVID vaccine. There's no gelatin in the COVID vaccine. People that say do your research, they haven't done it. That's all I can say. You haven't done it. Like, there's no more than that.
There's a lot of secondhand information, and then there's a lot of information that people heard at the very beginning.
Yeah. And that's another thing too. They're hanging on to that. They're hanging on to the very first info that Fauci gave them on the news, and they won't let it go ever. My favorite
even if he takes it back. Like,
my favorite,
some people are like
the mask thing, right?
Mask, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the
masks
number one
work.
thing.
Masks only don't even protect you.
Remember, he said that. I'm like, yeah, he did. You know why? Because there's no data to back it up. He was just kind of guessing it, like you were guessing. Like
a week later, he said some other shit. But
no, that's the thing. It's wild, man. We can talk about this for a whole show, but we won't. But as for the NBA and mandating things, and I guess what are you gonna say when the city is mandating shit? The whole saying, balls in your court now. What are you gonna do about it? So
I think 10 years from now, there's gonna be a 30 for 30 about how good Kyrie could have been. And
but COVID killed his career. It's really COVID that killed his career.
The earth was too flat,
And how COVID handed the Lakers a false championship. So it's gonna be that 30 for 32. Don't forget that one.
Wait,
Don't
what
forget
was that?
one.
In the bubble, we're in the bubble, and we won in the bubble. I'll be honest with you. Had somebody else won the championship,
it'd be the same shit. It'd be the same
no,
shit.
I would be. That's an asterisk. Just like when San Antonio won with the shortened season, I was like,
well,
they ain't like real champs.
It's like how the Dodgers won in a 60-game baseball season. I'm like, no,
they can have it. That's
they're like, well, we got in the playoffs. The playoffs were the same length as normal. I'm like, yeah, but 60 games in baseball doesn't tell a story, buddy.
I feel bad because the year before Houston was cheating.
Yeah, that's how
kinda,
you win, baby. That's how you win. You win.
I mean, I hate the Dodgers, but feel a little bad. I feel a little bad for like the Kings. Back in the day when later on that ref came out. And he was like, "Yeah, I cheated a little bit." I'm like,
listen to the podcast Whistleblower. It's him. It's the ref, and it is phenomenal. And he goes talks about all that stuff. Whistleblower. I think it's an 8-part podcast, and man, it's so good. Oh my god! And he goes on. He talks shit about other refs that are basically cheaters too, and it's a deep dive into the dirty part of sports. So there you go, people. NBA starts up soon. Venom is in theaters now. We all saw Shang-Chi, and Johnny was offended by the Wuhan restaurant. And Carlos thinks his best days are behind him. So there we go.
They're yet to come.
Thanks for tuning in. The Nerds Talking the podcast. For Johnny.
See ya.
For Carlos.
Bye-bye.
And I'm Lafayette. You have yourself a good day. We'll see you next time on Nerds Talking the podcast.
Witchcraft. The occult. Extremist beliefs. Murder. Tune in to Rogue Darkness each Friday and join host Raven as I uncover horrific crimes committed under the misconceptions and misunderstandings of witchcraft and other belief systems. I'll cover a wide range of crimes involving ritualistic killings and extremist beliefs to cult persuasion and supposed possession. Anything and everything that borders the line of horrifying. There's always 3 sides to a story. Side A, Side B, and then the truth. Let's uncover the truth together and explore the darkness of mankind, one crime at a time. Available wherever you get your podcast fix, simply by searching Rogue Darkness.